Let's start some clapping and cheering, please. There you go. We have, welcome to the stage, the wonderful Chris Mould.
Well, we'll start out with two pieces of not that there, not that. We'll start out with two absolute pieces of truth. Move this, we don't need that. The absolute piece of truth number one is that I used to live in Newcastle. This is absolutely true. I lived there for 3 years. Absolute piece of truth number two is that earlier on in the year I was playing football and I twisted and I snapped the anterior cruciate ligament in my knee. That is the ligament that goes diagonally through the knee and holds that bone to that bone. These two things are absolutely true. The reason I tell you these two apparently unrelated, absolutely true facts is because when I was first laid up with this problem, my mate Gary from Newcastle phoned me up and he said, "Are you alright, man, Chris?" And I says, "No, I'm not bad, Gary, I'm not bad, Gary, but I've got knee problems." And Gary said, "Come on." It might not even be that, you don't know, it might not be that. And Gary said, "You've got knee problems, man, Chris, then why do you sound so glum?" There we go, that's a joke on the top, that's a joke, thank you for that, that's a joke there, that's a joke, thank you very much, joke there. There we go, straight off the bat, straight off the bat. It was a lie, but it was a lie born out of two truths. Both those things were true. I used to live in Newcastle, and when I was there was a nightclub there called The Boat, right? Which that's a nightclub on a boat, right? And it's horrific. It's the worst place in the world because, like, you go in. And you go like down. It's an old warship, and you have to go down these military corridors, no bigger than this. And you sort of stoop down, go down under deck in these military corridors like that, and you sort of swaying from side to side because you're on the time, right? It's on the time, so it's swaying from side to side, and you're all claustrophobic, cramped in. And you go down, and you get to a bar, and as you get in, there's a bar, and it's just all they serve is like luminous coloured drinks, like full of alcohol, and that's all you got to drink. Something that's bright blue, and there's like a 40% alcohol content or something like that. And so you're feeling all sick from that. You're claustrophobic. The time is swaying, and do you know what some genius thought? With all these combustible elements, all these vomit-juicing combustible elements, do you know what some genius thought? He's went, "You know what this place needs? And he's a revolving dance floor. It's got a revolving dance floor with all them combustible elements. Stinks of sick. Come in. You've missed nothing." It stinks. It absolutely stinks. It's a horrific place. Absolutely horrendous. But I used to go there all the time. It was like my favourite place to go. Not because, oh dear, it's all gone wrong. It's like being back on the boat, isn't it? It used to be my favourite place to go. Not because I used to like to go there and have a drink and a dance and a good time. That's not me. I was a very sad, lonely, depressed man when I was in Newcastle. What I used to like to do is I used to like to go and watch other people struggling with all these elements, right? Okay, so like the first thing I'd do is, because I knew what it was like. I knew what people would do. They'd go to the bar and they'd go to the dance floor. So I stood sort of with a clear view of the bar, clear view of the entrance, but just by the dance floor, so that I could see people who'd never been there before, who'd wander like that. They'd got the drinks, the bright blue stuff, and they'd go, "Oh, let's head over to the dance floor then, man, Gary. Let's head over to the dance floor." And they'd wander over to the dance floor like that, having no idea. Wander over to the dance floor. "Fucking hell! What's going on there? The floor's spinning, Gary! Gary, the floor's spinning!" Like, thoroughly confused with what's going on, right? And what I used to like to do, right, just to sort of, because I was sad, is I'd sort of, you know them gelatine snakes you had, right? Like bright coloured gelatine sweet snakes. Like, you're looking well confused. You never had like a pick and mix of like 15p that cost a bit of marshmallow at the bottom and then gelatine. Yeah, okay, so what I do, these bright coloured snake sweets is, what I do, right, they'd be staring at the floor like that. They go, "Oh, fucking hell, Gary, the floor's moving!" And they'd stare, looking at it, wondering if they were seeing things, and then I'd just toss down the gelatine sweets like that, gelatine snakes, like brightly coloured snakes, and they'd just roll into the view like that. They go, "Fucking hell, Gary, there's brightly coloured snakes and the floor's moving! Gary, I think someone slipped, there's a tap of acid, Gary! What the fuck's going on?" So that's the sort of thing I used to get up to when I went there. Very sad. And like I went there and there was a fella, right? I sort of looked out to the dance floor and there was a fella like this, just staring into space, just spinning around. Like that, just spinning around, staring into it, it's not moving. So forward. I thought, what's going on there? It turns out what's going on there is, right, with all the combustible elements of like the claustrophobia and the swaying of the ship and the spinning in his head and the spinning of the dance floor, you'd think this man is going to throw up, but what he's miraculously managed to do is find the one spot in the entire venue where they just cancel each other out. And so in his head, he's just stood there like that, feeling completely sober, like, fucking hell, this is magical, this doesn't feel like I've had anything at all, it's fucking brilliant. It's incredible, but in order to find that out, I had to interrupt him. He looked away, threw up on my shoes. It was not, but it's still completely worth it. Still completely worth it. So, because it was a nightclub, right? It was a nightclub, and as with any nightclub, the ladies, right? They go straight to the dance floor for a dance, right? Oh, I fancy it, Sharon. Come over here, have a dance, mate. Put that bags down, have a go at it. And the men, they'd stand on the outside of the dance floor, right, with a pint, just deciding which one they were going to hump up the back of, right? So, but the difference is that this is a rotating dance floor. So they're stood on the outside like that, and the women are going past like a rotisserie or a cattle market or a sushi bar. Don't you dare make jokes about sushi and fish and Geordie women. I will not have the good name of Geordie women besmirched in such a way. So it'd be fine, and they'd be like that, it'd be going, I'll tell you, oh, no, I'll put this out of the way, and then, as I want it, there we go. It'd be standing at the side, and the women would be going around, and he'd be like, oh, I tell you what, man, Gary, I quite fancy that one there. Which one's that, Gary? Which one do you fancy there? That one, right? Oh, okay, right. So you see, there's a hen party there with a huge inflatable penis, right? Okay. Then there's a girl dressed as a zebra just behind them, right? And then there's a girl in a red dress, high heels there. You see her, right? She's my off. Fucking hell, she's gone. Right. Next time she comes around, I'm on there. Okay. Right. So they'd wait. But the thing is, obviously, we've learned, you missed it, but we've learned that if you walk out, oh, your feet's going to go, right? Your feet's just going to go straight out from under you. But, so what do? They have to prepare themselves, right? Move with the rotation of the stage, right? So they'd be on there like that, warming up like that. Okay, here they come. Hen party with a huge inflatable penis. Girl dressed as a zebra. Here she is on there! Like that. And they was on straight away. If they could time it just right, they managed to get directly into the hump position, right? So where else would be at, they'd just be, all right, darling, how are you doing? It's like fantastic. It's like, you know, it's a real skill to it. You've got to admire it. But at the same time, it takes 90 seconds for this. I counted. It takes 90 seconds for this floor to rotate, right? So it's quite conceivable that the girl in the red dress, by the time she gets back round, someone else has dived in and got involved. But once you're trying to get onto this stage, there's no, like, you've tunnel vision. I'm getting on. I know what's coming. So you don't notice. So there's a fella already on there, sort of grinding away, having a good old... Sorry. I do apologise. He's grinding away, having a good old time. But he doesn't notice. So he's there. He's like this. Okay, hen party with a huge inflatable penis. Girl dressed as a zebra. Oh, fucking hell, sorry, mate! Oh, I'm really sorry! As he's went straight up this fella's arse, unsuspecting, he's grinding, he's bumped into her. He's like, I'm really sorry, mate, I'm really sorry. Have a canny night, mate. You two just carry on. As you were, I've just got to wait for my stuff. Do you know what, actually, I quite need a piss, I'll hop off here. Yeah, and it's fantastic seeing how people adapt to this environment as well, because, like, there's a fella at the bar, right, and he's went to get himself and his mate a drink, but he started chatting to this girl, and he feels like it's nearing the end of the night, and he feels like coitus is imminent, but he knows the rules, and if he moves away, she's fair game again, okay? So what does he do? How does he deal with this? He's already bought his mate a drink, phones him up. Alright, Gary? Right, I've copped off with this bird, mate. I've got your drink here, but I can't leave, so I'll send it round to you, okay? Right, I'll stick a pink straw in it so you know it's yours, okay, right? Just doing that now, here we go. So this way around now, mate, so it's coming, I've got my eyes on it, don't worry, no one's got it. So this way, got it, mate, fantastic, have a good night, I'll see you in the morning, alright? And then he went home far happier than I ever did. It's closed now, though, the boat. devastating, absolutely devastating. My dad phoned me up when I was laid up after the knee operation. Knee operation? Then why were you laid up? See, I'm still firing him out there. I'm still firing him out there. Yes, knee operation. Why was it? Yeah. So after when I was laid up with the knee operation, my dad phoned me up. He says, "You know that place in Newcastle you do the joke about? The boot." He says. I says, "Yeah." He says, "It's closed." Oh, fucking hell, cheers, Dad. Keep me while I'm down. I can't walk, and now I can't do jokes because they're outdated as well. Fantastic. Cheers for that. Now, where are we at right now? Have I got time to...
About a minute.
About a minute. Okay, I've not got time. I was going to tell you about the fact that I was laid up and I got annoyed with Jeremy Kyle and his mathematical abilities. It's brilliant stuff, but you'll never see it now because I'm going home as soon as this gig's finished, so you'll never see it, unfortunately. But I'll tell you one final thing. As well as watching Jeremy Kyle getting annoyed by his mathematical skills, while I was laid up, I was 3 months unable to do very, very much except for sort of going to physio and that sort of thing. Oh, I'll tell you this just dead quickly. I'm going to go slightly over. I'll tell you this just dead quickly, though, because I went to... the only place that I went was between 2 hospitals. For 3 months, the only place I went was between 2 hospitals. The consultants and the physio, that's all I was doing all the time. But I put on a comedy gig as well. Ill-advised, I know, but I put on a comedy gig. And so I sort of... I just flyed at the only places that I went to, which is like every single notice board in both of the hospitals that I went to. And I just had an idea in my head that I'd turn up on stage and there'd just be like tables and tables full of people with like arms in slings and patches on their eyes and like legs hacking coughs. And I'd be doing banter like that. So, oh, you saw the posters I put up at the hospital, did you? And they'd be like, no, we saw the posters you put up at the docks. Because they were pirates. Anyway, I forgot to mention that they were pirates before. That's why you don't ad-lib. Right, I'm going to tell you this one final thing. And then I'll leave you to it. I'm going to go home. So, when I was off work for all this time, 3 months, I thought, do you know what, I'm going to use this time well. I'm going to do a load of writing. I'm going to write a load of new jokes. So you've noticed, I've got no jokes, right? So big problems, right? I'm going to write a load of new jokes. And I did one. And so, like, just to finish off my final day in Edinburgh, do you want to hear the joke?
Yeah.
Okay, right. I'm going to do this joke no matter what. So can we just go for a subterfuge that you actually want to hear it, rather than me forcing it on you? Would you like to hear it?
Yeah.
Yes, you would. Exactly. I knew it. I just knew it. Okay, so there's 2 fellas sat at a bar, right, talking to the barman. And the third fella wanders in. Well, he hobbles in. Really hobbles right in, right? And the first man at the bar says to the barman, what's that guy's story? He says, oh, it's tragic. It's tragic. He was a soldier. He was at war at Afghanistan and Iraq, and he trod on a landmine, and he blew the ends of his feet clean off. At hearing this, the second man at the bar puts down his pint and says, I am not having this. I don't know why he's from Newcastle. I'm not having this. He gets up out his seat, he walks over to the hobbling man, he punches him clean in the face, lays him out, and then walks off. The barman says to the first man, he says, what was that all about? He says, oh yeah, sorry about him. He's lactose intolerant. He lacks toes. He's had a blow clean up, ladies and gentlemen. That's how I choose to end my Edinburgh Festival, with that joke there. Thank you very, very, very much for listening. Thank you all. It's Chris Doyle. I'll probably never see you again.
Chris Mould with his tales and stories.